Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're making gingerbread cake.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have a delicious recipe for you today. This is perfect for getting ready for the Christmas holidays. It just has that Christmassy feel about it. I think it's just, it's based around gingerbread. So this is a gingerbread cake. So we're just gonna hop right in. There'll be a link for a printable recipe in the details below. First, we're gonna grind our oats. This is 2.5 cups of rolled oats, organic rolled oats. And I'm just gonna use my NutriBullet here because we're not blending a huge amount. So that's really perfect for these smaller amounts of ingredients. And we're just gonna blend it into a flour. There we go. And I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. So we're just gonna put that in our mixing bowl here. And then I have 1/4 cup of almond meal or almond flour, which is completely optional. If you wanna do this nut-free, you can just use another 1/4 cup of oat flour. We have a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 2.5 teaspoons of ginger. And if you want to make it even more gingery, you can microplane or zest some fresh ginger to get it in there. I just don't happen to have any fresh ginger on me today. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and a tablespoon of flax meal. And we're just going to stir this together with our whisk just to get it all really well incorporated and to get any of those clumps out. Because if you don't get the clumps out now, when you go to mix it, it's kind of a fast paced thing. And if you don't get this part done well, then you'll have these little white clumps of flour or maybe even baking soda or baking powder in your cake. And it's a really dark colored cake, so that's really obvious when you see it. So I want to make sure I get all those lumps out. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now onto the wet ingredients. So I'm going to clear this stuff out and get all of the wet ingredients. Beans are an essential part of a whole food plant-based diet and should feature prominently in our daily menu. We love finding new and convenient ways to get our servings in. Wellbean is a tasty and wholesome way to get 1/2 serving of beans in every bar. Wellbean bars are vegan and gluten-free with no preservatives and no added salt, sugar, or oil. Each bar is made only from an assortment of beans, fruits, nuts, and seeds. As a special deal for our viewers, follow the link in the description and use the code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save $5 off a variety pack because life is better with beans. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. Plus, Complement is completely transparent about ingredient sourcing and third-party testing, publishing the results directly on their website. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Okay, now on to the wet ingredients. So I have 1.5 cups of really hot water, just below boiling. You don't really want it to be completely boiling, but you want it to be really hot. 1/2 cup of dates, and these are decadent dates, but you could also use medjool dates. They're both great. I just usually use decadent dates because they're more affordable. This is 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar. And then the secret ingredient that makes it taste so amazing. This is blackstrap molasses. You could use regular molasses too, but blackstrap molasses, it's just a little bit different. It has a lower glycemic index and it's just loaded with minerals. but they're both super tasty. If you want a little bit darker of a cake, you can use the regular molasses, or like unsulfured molasses. And it has just, the blackstrap molasses also has a little bit stronger of a flavor, but that's okay in this cake because we really want it to be gingery and strong, and that molasses just gives it that punchy, strong flavor. So now we're just going to mix this until those dates are completely pulverized. Okay, now we're just going to pour this into the dry ingredients, and you want to go pretty quick because it starts to thicken while you're stirring, and it gets a little bit more difficult to stir it in and get it all really well mixed. You can see how it's activating all of the rising agents because it's kind of bubbly, and I think the hot water also helps to do that. But you see as I'm stirring, it's getting really thick. But you don't want to overmix. If you overmix it, or if you mix for too long, it'll get really rubbery and kind of hard. So I already have my silicone bundt pan here, and this is just for prettiness. You could also just use a 9x9 brownie pan that's lined with parchment. But I like this to be more of a festive kind of cake, so that bundt cake form here really just makes it look special. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. All of that ginger and the molasses is so strong. All right. I'm just gonna mix it around a little bit because some of the thicker stuff was kind of in the bottom. There we go. Okay, so into the oven we go, and it's going in for 35 minutes. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. Our supporting members gain access to great member perks like our monthly product giveaways, ebooks, and in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so while our cake is baking, we're gonna make the frosting or the drizzle that's gonna go over and make this cake so pretty. But we need to make it now while that's in the oven, and then you'll also have that time of the cake cooling before you put the frosting on, because the frosting kind of needs to set up a little bit. It needs to thicken. Okay, so we're gonna start out, we've got 1/2 cup of cashews. If you don't have cashews, you can also use almonds. And if you're going nut-free, you can always use one of the Japanese white sweet potatoes, the Okinawa sweet potatoes, instead of nuts. It works wonderfully well. Then I've got 6 decadent dates, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon zest. That's gonna make it really nice and lemony. And then 1/4 cup of water. Okay, now we're just gonna blend it until it is just silky and smooth. Okay, oh wow, that is beautiful. All right, now all we have to do is wait for that cake to get done. Okay guys, it is out of the oven and it smells amazing. And I already let it cool for about 25 minutes or so. So with the silicone forms, you want to just, loosen the edges a little bit just so that it's not, it doesn't stick to it when you're flipping it. And make sure you get the middle part too. Now, we just have to flip it. All right, wish me luck. Oh, I could hear it come out. Hopefully it's all there. Ah, look at that. It's such a cute little loaf. It's still a bit warm. All right, so I put my frosting. You can pipe it on, you can pour it on, whatever you want. If you want to make it really nice looking, I like to pipe it on. And I didn't have a small tip for my piping bag. So if you don't have a piping bag, you can just use a Ziploc baggie. And then I just cut off the corner tip, and that's just however big you want it, but you might have to test it. But I already tested to see, like, that's about what I want, and then we just frost it. Oops, coming out of there. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna finish frosting and then I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay, let's cut this cake. Oh, it feels so nice and soft and spongy. Okay. Take a little piece. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, you can just tell it's really nice and moist. But it's all about the flavor. Isn't that frosting? Super moist, kind of dense. You can really taste that ginger coming through. And the cake is really rich, but it helps to have that lemon frosting because it kind of cuts through. A little punch of that lemony tartness. Boy, you are going to love this. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and meet me back here next week for another great recipe.